are turning brown. Your trees are pruning ground.
Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to be making cheesecake. We're actually going to be making my favorite kind, and that's orange vanilla cheesecake. If you don't want orange in there, just leave the orange out and you'll just get a plain vanilla cheesecake. So let's get right into it. This is probably the easiest cheesecake you're ever going to make. To start off with, we have graham crackers. I just crushed them, and some pecans over here. If you don't want to use nuts, just leave that out. I have cream cheese and sour cream right here, softened room temperature, 4 eggs room temperature, a little bit of orange extract, a little bit of vanilla, a few tablespoons of flour, a cup and a tablespoon of sugar, both for the crust and the actual filling, melted butter for the crust, some salt, and oranges for zesting. So let's get right into that. I'm gonna move everything aside for now because we are going to just make the crust. Now I just have like a little blender. I just have a little blender right here. It's just an attachment for my immersion blender. So I'm just gonna make everything in the blender, so all my nuts will be really crushed very finely. And I'm actually just gonna put just a pinch of salt, a pinch. So go ahead and crush this all together, and when it's crushed, we're gonna add butter. So I've gone ahead and finally chopped everything. As you can see, it's just basically crushed. You can't even tell that there's any nuts in there. I'm going to, oh, by the way, I'm using this springform pan. It's like a square, but this is a springform pan. It's a little wet because I just washed it. But basically, you want to use something with a springform pan to ensure that your cheesecake comes out. So that aside, you just want to put all of it in the pan that you're using, and then add your melted butter. This is just melted, unsalted butter. It's measured out. If you're using salted butter, do not put the pinch of salt I put in earlier. So that's that. And now at this point, I'm sure you all know, you just mix it until all the butter wets all of the graham crackers, and then you could press it to the bottom of the pan. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll show you the end result, what it's supposed to look like pressed on the bottom. So I did in fact forget to mention that you do need to add a tablespoon of sugar. So go ahead and do it. This is just regular granulated sugar. Mine is just super fine, which just means it's somewhere between granulated sugar and powdered sugar, but you could use either. It really doesn't matter. So while I'm mixing this, it's not gonna make a difference that I didn't add it earlier, but make sure you add yours before you add the butter. So continue doing it until everything is wet and combined, and we'll show you the next step. This is what we're looking for. I just started pressing it. You just wanna use your hands or a spatula or the bottom of like a cup or something to press all of that in. And make sure it's tight and even. You want an even layer all around, and I'm kind of going up the sides as well. Okay, I've pressed everything. An even layer. There it is. So I'm going to set this aside, and my oven is preheating to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. So I have that. I'm moving. Let me see, I have to get my, okay, I'm using my immersion blender just with another attachment, just a whisk. So this is softened cream cheese, about 2 blocks, and this is sour cream. They're all room temperature, including the eggs. I'm just going to mix them together before I add the eggs. Our sour cream and cream cheese is blended together. You want to go ahead and do that, after which you want to add your orange extract. And this is just a natural emulsion, that's why it's this color. But you could just use regular extract, whichever one you want. You could even make this a lemon cheesecake, but I'm telling you, the orange vanilla cheesecake is the best. And then I'm going to use some vanilla bean paste. I use bean paste because it has the little black specks in there. You could see it's like a thicker consistency. It has those little black vanilla caviar in there, and it just looks really, really pretty when it comes out. Now, if you don't have vanilla bean paste, just use a actual vanilla bean. Just scrape out the caviar, throw it in there, add some vanilla extract if you'd like, and there you go, same effect. So I'm just gonna add the tiniest pinch of salt. I do really think that salt actually helps a lot with bringing out different flavors, sweet or savory. So I'm gonna add my flour as well. This is just regular all-purpose flour. And I'm going to add my sugar. Granulated sugar is fine. So there that goes, mix that in. I've mixed everything together. At this point, you just want to add your eggs, and these are room temperature as well, as I mentioned before. Now, I do want to tell you guys, a cheesecake is, I mean, it's time consuming. It uses a lot of good ingredients, so you have to buy a lot of ingredients, and it could be a little bit difficult to make at times depending on the recipe you use. This is actually one of the easiest you'll ever try. But I mean, if you realize just the smell of everything while you're making it, you'll realize it's totally worth it before you actually even get to eat it. Because the graham cracker with the butter, I mean, I want to scoop that into my mouth already. The orange with the vanilla, that's really, really good. I mean, at least try it one time. You never know, it might become your favorite. It did mine once I tried it. I'm just gonna add some orange zest, which you just grab a microplane, as you can see right here, and you just add as much or as little as you want. I'm just gonna add kind of like half an orange or less. Just gonna pop my yolks so it doesn't go everywhere. Everything is combined now. This is where you stop beating it because you don't want it to jeopardize the texture of your cheesecake. By the way, if you go ahead and try this recipe, please let me know in the comments exactly how you felt about the texture, because I actually really enjoy it. So now we're just gonna get the crust that we prepared earlier. We're gonna fill in our filling, and we're going to be soon ready to eat. So now what you're going to do, I just tap it a little bit. You see all those air bubbles? I want them to come to the top and get out of there so it won't have like all these bubbles at the top. What you're gonna do is bake this at 375 for 45 to 55 minutes. We have our cheesecake right here. It has a little bit of golden edge, and you know, like you'll know it's done when the center kind of jiggles when you're taking it out, but not enough where it should look like it's almost completely raw. So the topping that I'm going to do, by the way, mine took about 43 minutes to bake. So I'm going to add some powdered sugar to my sour cream right here. And I'm just going to combine that. So I'm just mixing this until combined, and this also kind of loosens up the sour cream. And I'm just going to top it while it's hot. So it's been about 4 or 5 hours. I have my cheesecake right here with the sour cream on top. So I'm pretty positive it's cooled completely. I'm just gonna run my knife through the sides just to make sure nothing sticks, because when I undo the springform pan, it might pull away my cheesecake, but just an extra precaution. Okay. So just undo your springform pan and hope for the best. Oh, my cheesecake is coming out with it, look. Okay, there we go. For a second it was stuck, so. Oh God. That video definitely needs to be edited. So this is our gorgeous cheesecake. Let me zoom you guys in. Okay. So, trust me when I tell you this is the best cheesecake ever. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take the the orange that we zested earlier and just use it to make these little curls, which if you watch my zesting video, you'll know how to do that with just one of these gadgets. You could cut this however you want. I usually cut them squares, so about this big. And I just took mine out of the refrigerator, so the crust is pretty tough right now. But if you leave it to kind of come to room temperature, do you guys see that? I'm gonna put it on a plate. I don't want to risk it falling apart everywhere. So just go ahead, plate it in all its delicious glory. And then I'll place like maybe 1 or 2 little zests on there, just so people know they're biting into an orange flavored cheesecake. I actually came around so you could see it better because I have the hardest time showing it on the camera when it's so far away from me. But here it is. You see the little specks right here, the little vanilla specks. Yeah, that's what makes it gorgeous. And then the sour cream topping, and oh my God, this crust, you guys. It's like 3 ingredients, but amazing. So I just placed some of the zest on top of the sour cream and some segmented oranges on the side. If you don't know how to segment or orange, zest citruses, check out a video I have for that. But this is pretty much it, and I guess I must try it. I mean, I've only been waiting 5 hours for this. So, a little bit of everything. Probably one of the best cheesecakes I've ever eaten. So I did demolish that one little piece I had on my plate. Please go ahead, try this recipe. Probably the easiest recipe, excuse me, probably the easiest recipe for a cheesecake you'll ever try. It comes together in minutes, even though the baking and cooling time is a little bit long. Trust me, it's worth it. So when you have guests, you guys make this the night before, make it like really early in the morning, and by the time they're here, all you have to do is put it on a plate and serve it to them. It's gorgeous, it's amazing, and everyone's gonna be impressed, especially because a lot of people think cheesecake is extremely hard to make because you could have so many different problems with it. But yeah, go ahead, please try it, and then like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.